few years ago, there was this Muslim couple that were going viral on social media, and they were like 20, 21, 19 years old, right? They were young, and what had happened was that they had just gotten married. And you can imagine, right? They're a young couple, they're on deen and everything, and they've just gotten married. So you can imagine the excitement they have for their future. They're going to be starting a family soon, moving in together in their own house, all of these things. And they've been married for a few months. And one day, the wife is at home and the husband comes back from like a long day at work, right? He's come back from his 9 to 5 from his job. He comes back and he tells his wife, "Oh, I'm just going to go play soccer or football with the boys." And then he goes, plays with his boys. But when he's playing with his boys and he's at the field, they finish playing or whatever, right? I don't know the exact details because I wasn't there. But what happens is he has a stroke and he goes into a coma, and like he doesn't wake up after that. And you saw on like TikTok and everything, right? That the wife was in the hospital in the bed with the guy crying because like her husband wasn't waking up. The doctors were saying, "Oh, he might die," this, that, right? He was just gone. And he did die. He did return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And obviously you can imagine the pain for the wife that she's just gotten married. She's so young. Her husband is so young. They're just starting this beautiful life together. And it's completely been taken away from them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And obviously you can imagine the pain and everything. And honestly, this whole story, this whole like incident, event, it taught me like two main lessons. It taught me two different things. Number one, death is closer to us than you and I think. Because we're young and everything, and because we've lived our life where we haven't even been conscious for that long, right? Like when you were 5, when you were 10, you weren't thinking about life. You weren't thinking about anything. You were just a kid. You were just a child. Because we haven't lived that long, we number one think that we have so much long to live. That we're gonna die at 60, the age of death, the expectancy of life, or whatever it's called, right? It's 80 years old. I'm gonna live till then. Number one, we don't know that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might have willed it for us to die tomorrow, a second from now. I might not even finish this video. Think about it. I might not finish recording this video. You might not finish having watched all of this video. You might die before you even get to the end of this video. We do not know. We have no certainty. I cannot tell you, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna finish recording this video." I might by the will of Allah, but I also might not. I also might just drop dead in the middle of it, right? That's a completely like understood thing. Yet like we forget about it. Yet we do not think about death as much as we should. We don't actually ponder over it, that it is something that is gonna happen. But number two, we also have gotten tricked and fooled by the shaitan and this whole dunya that we are so focused on right now. We're so focused on the money we need to make. We're so focused on this and that, the 9 to 5s, all of these things, when we should be giving so much more of our time, so much more of our attention and energy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And honestly, I remember when I was working my 9 to 5s, right? It was so hard for me to actually almost like get on deen, especially because I wasn't already on deen. And of course, like this is at the end of the day my ignorance, my jahiliyyah, but still I had made it my priority. I had been tricked by shaitan into focusing on the money, into focusing on this world, and I didn't give myself the time and the energy to think about death, to think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And alhamdulillah, Allah guided me. Even when I was working my 9 to 5, I got closer and closer to Allah. I started to practice more and more, be praying and all of these things. But also Allah also guided me to starting a halal online business, to starting a side hustle, because these 9 to 5s and uni and everything was going to trap me down to a certain life where I wasn't going to have the freedom I wanted, where I wasn't just going to be able to pick up in the middle of the year, in the middle of the month and go to Umrah or anything like that. Right? I wasn't going to have the freedom. I wasn't going to have the financial capabilities, the time freedom to wake up whenever I wanted, to go pray Isha, to stay up for Taraweehs, whatever it was, right? I wasn't going to have that type of freedom. And alhamdulillah, I got guided into like working on online businesses. I had this desire to start something online where I would have freedom from my success. And alhamdulillah, Allah guided me, He gave me knowledge and all of these things. And now after I have become successful with starting a side hustle and being able to make enough money from it to make it my main active hustle, to like actually make a living off it. Yeah, I have so much more time and energy, so much more like just mind energy, just time to think and dedicate more and more time to Allah, to spend more time for my deen. And of course, that has helped so much. When you have that freedom, when you can wake up and you can do basically whatever you want. And now I can basically go spend time seeking knowledge, reading the Quran in the morning, doing this, doing that, and build a routine around my deen, around Allah. And that has helped so much. Because think about it, on the long like horizon, right, on your life, let's say you do live till 60 to 80 years old, you do make it till then by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So much of your time and energy is going to have been spent chasing money, thinking about money. Oh, I need to provide for my family, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He does provide for us. But obviously it's just like the bird in the morning, right? You still have to go seek your rizq. And you're spending so much of your time and energy in 9-to-5s and this and that, while you could have just started that side hustle, where you could have just started making money online and have that freedom. Of course, it is still hard. Of course, you still have to put your energy in and all of these things. But you would have had so much more freedom. And I genuinely think this is why so many, like almost every Muslim, should dedicate themselves to starting a side hustle. Not only just for the freedom and the money and all that good stuff, but because that money, because that freedom, it brings you closer to Allah. It makes you a better Muslim. It allows you, it gives you like the privilege or like just the right to go move to Medina, to go move to Makkah, to go perform Umrah as many times as you want in a year. It gives you the right to basically do whatever you want, whenever you want, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can go learn Arabic, seek knowledge, whatever it is you want, you can do. And I'm so like happy, I'm so grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He guided me onto this path, because literally all I had to do, like the business model I picked, Allah guided me to it, right? The business model I picked, it was basically, all I had to do was record videos talking about the specific knowledge I had gained through Allah's will, and literally just make money from my laptop. I could basically technically make money from anywhere in the world. And honestly, it's not even that hard when you have the right intention. When you say, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah so I can become a better Muslim, so I can level up in my deen and I can have more freedom in this dunya, so I can level up my akhirah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will add barakah into your life. He will make it easy for you. All you have to do is put in the work, set the intention, actually go and put in a little bit of effort, and inshallah, Allah will reward you for it. I hope this video was of some value to you, and inshallah you can also like go start working towards achieving that freedom, to start working on a side hustle, starting an online business, even if you are in uni, even if you are in school, or even if you have a 9-to-5, all these things, whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He allows you to get started on that journey. I want to thank you for your time. Go watch the video on the screen. Bye.